So I just turned on the stream.
All right.
All right. It's great. Let's get to know each other, Brian. So, what was it like being a senior in high school? Wait, I don't even know where I'm going.
That's
What? That was too long ago. I think I have
I'll be right back, guys.
Forget those things. A little senility setting in.
Yes.
I think I just can't remember my 9th grade year. Everything else is pretty clear.
That sounds like a good plan.
I was a pretty obnoxious 9th grader.
What does it say?
Huh. Yeah, I had a list of well, I was a phone hacker, a freak with a PH,
Yep.
and I remember we used to have a list of every payphone in all the malls in town, and so we would do things like make all the phones ring at the same time, so that when two people picked it up, they'd have to talk to each other. We would do that to 2 different malls and 2 different sets of payphones.
Nice.
And I was like telling Adam that it would be cool if we're San's guests to call a payphone up somewhere. But really, where is a payphone still at?
They're just gone. It's almost comical. It's I mean, the funny thing about it is we had a payphone in the house I lived in at school back in college in the early 90s. And we ended up pulling it out because it was more expensive to have the payphone than it was to just pay for like a normal phone. And that was back in the early 90s. So that was the piece that I don't think a lot of people realize, is that you paid to have those on your property, almost like renting them. And then that was supposed to somehow bring in business and have people's attention and gain money. And then you gain something off the sales of that payphone.
Right. Yeah, I do kind of want a Bill and Ted style phone booth. And then if somebody rings my door outside, the phone rings, as a doorbell. But it's taking some time to get that done. Plus, my wife is like, "You are not bringing a phone booth in here."
Oh, I've seen a couple of old ones, much older than like Bill and Ted's, and every time I see one, it's one of those. Oh my gosh, that's awesome! And then, how much is that? Yeah, I'm not paying that much for a phone.
I need the widow that's like, "Oh, I don't know how much this is worth," and yeah,
exactly. There's one. Gosh, where did I see one the other day? It was, I know where it is. There's actually a warehouse of stuff here that I fell upon, and the guy had a phone booth in there.
Man. Yeah. Did you see that arcade raid? That warehouse raid in Florida, I think it is.
Yeah, that was crazy. He is. I asked him about Super Don Quixote boards, and he goes, "You're the 3rd person." I'm like, "Who the hell wants those?"
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't tell. The boards looked pretty clean. Like there was thousands on the wall. That's the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, there was a ton of stuff there. That was pretty unreal.
Well, good to know that there's a new influx of stuff into the hobby, I guess.
There will be. That was a huge find. There is actually a reasonable find here that there's another group that has kind of found it, was sitting on it, that I happened upon. The problem is it's not a lot of high-end arcade stuff. It's a lot of rare pinball stuff, but not high-end pinball stuff. And so it's just, it's one of those things where, arcade finds you can get in and get kind of a group, a bulk deal on. This is enough pinball stuff that, it's tens of thousands of dollars just to like start talking, not even to walk out with most of the stuff. So it was the first time I have seen a Rotation 8, though.
Rotation 8? Is that like a EM type?
Let me double check it. Well, so what it is, I'll make sure that I'm saying it properly. Rotation 8.
Rotation?
Yeah, it's Rotation 8. So if you actually search it on Google, it's essentially a rotatable pinball table. So it's a cocktail pinball table. There's actually a video of Jerry Ellsworth playing it in Seattle. And the table rotates you have 4 players, and it rotates to face each of the players.
Hey guys,
Hey,
we're doing.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
No Dan here.
so this guy has 3 of them.
Ha.
So we'll see.
Hmm.
I've heard like most pinballs like this, it's a terrible pinball. But what was really kind of cool.
Wait, is that ice in there? What are you, blasphemous? What is going on? Do you not have a shaker?
I do. Shit, there's my taxes.
So so if you look at the game they're playing there in Seattle, what's kind of cool about it is they're playing like a dollar game or whatever. So they each put a dollar bill anywhere on the glass they want. And because the playfield rotates, it blocks the vision of the person in different places.
Are we on?
We're live. Yeah, we're having discussions and stuff.
Is there everybody in the chat?
Some of us are actually like, doing something here.
You think you're professional now?
Definitely not. Too much feedback.
Yeah, you know what's going to happen is if you're going to be a regular on the show, I'm going to send you a freaking mic and headphones. I'm gonna bring it over there. I have actually a lot of stuff to talk about. Oh wait, I have to get the live stream up.
It's so cool.
What?
A rotating pinball machine? It's just crazy.
Rotating? The hell
Yep.
you say?
We can talk about it if we get the show started at some point.
Right.
Are we?
Play that music that you play.
Okay. All right, here we go.
Live from KOYR Studios in Minneapolis, Minnesota, this is Arcade Radio. Intruder alert, intruder alert.
Arcaders, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 10 of the Arcade Radio Podcast. Today is Thursday, February 15th, the day after Valentine's Day, 2018, and the time is now approximately 7:24 p.m. Central. If you're wondering what that hiss is, it's our guest's crappy audio. But thanks for joining us in the Arcade Sphere. This is your host, Adam Stevens. I'm joined by the formidable Mark Time Runner Shields, and the guest host of Arcade Radio Podcast this week is Bryan Armitage III. Welcome to the show.
I've gained ancestors.
Well, you know, it's like there's an anime called Armitage III, and I just have to add that on there.
Ah, gotcha. Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
So, this is we're going to jump right into the warm up. So, welcome to What's New with You. What are you working on, Mark Shields?
Let's see. My centipede is drawing closer to completion. I have some paint I have to do. I got the control panels completely naked. I also ordered a new cocktail glass, and I'm experimenting by using 1/4-inch glass instead of 3/16 inch. This is the thickness, obviously, and hopefully that'll fit. If not, I may do a little sanding on the corners on the bottom, maybe.
You're going to try to sand tempered glass?
No, the bottom of the wood table that the glass would sit on. It occurred to me that those little clamps on the corners, if I got glass that was too thick, all I have to do is sand a 1/16 of an inch off the corner so that the clamps will still work.
I see.
should be completely invisible to the end user. And I've just been so busy with work, I haven't been able to get out there and start that. So I would love to.
Oh. Well, let's welcome to the chat Dave from Buffalo. Randy Gilking. And is Casey in there? Because he's going to... He's going to lose. Andy Baldwin. Yep. Mike Martin. and all the rest. Thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome, Adam. There.
Sup, all.
So, hey, Brian, what are you working on?
Let's see. We actually just started playing around with some really cool stuff. Actually, we ordered some cool stuff. I was looking for a Fluke 9010A. And
wait, hang on a second. I don't know if you're facing your computer, but we can barely hear you. It sounds like you're talking through a tube. So face that.
You know, this audio thing, I've really got to amp that up, don't I?
We got to help you out with that.
I've been playing around with doing some more board repair in the shop, and we were looking at getting a Fluke 9010A. I've been working on some old Atari vectors, and I actually am trying to get my Omega Race going. Discovered Vector Labs has a Z80A processor unit, like this test unit, that basically works the same as a Fluke 9010A. So we're picking one up and we're going to test it out. We've been playing around with this thing for a while, trying to get this board working. We completely rebuilt one of the, we didn't use one of those new recreation boards and completely for some reason we cannot get the thing to fire up. So.
That's a bummer.
Cool. Yeah, I missed out on this awesome Omega Race cocktail locally about a year and a half ago. I've been regretting it ever since.
Sorry about that.
You son of a...
That jerk. That thing came from Brad Lutz originally, I think. And then it went over to Alan Estenson. And then it went over to me. And then it went over to New York.
That's nice. I love a good black and white vector. I did pick up an Asteroids the past...
That is Bally's only vector game, by the way.
No, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Is it a licensed game, maybe?
What do you mean?
Like, did somebody else make it, or did Bally do it?
No, Bally was the one. That was their one game, Vector. That was it.
I like it.
Dude, I have a whole bunch of stuff I've been working on.
All right, let's see. What do you got?
What I got? Well, first of all, APB had been acting up, so I got a little power supply going, and she's working now. She's 100%. So nice. APB is All Points Bulletin. Very fun Atari game. People don't know very much about that game in general. But so you guys remember the last time on the show, I don't know, did I talk about my ceiling falling in with water and all that the last episode?
You did. It was great.
Yeah, so I was going to have somebody come in and fix it up, you know. And guess what I decided to do instead?
Huh.
Well, the ceiling was open, so guess what?
You painted it?
No,
I don't
I'm
know.
like, hey, dude, ceiling's open. It's time to upgrade the electrical in the house. Because every time I have a party and I turn all the games on, somebody like runs the microwave and everything turns off. Right? And I've had to run extension cords and just do silly things with my power for so long. So I had a new 20 amp circuit and another 15 amp circuit brought into two different parts of the basement. Guess what, guys? I can turn on every single game in the arcade and nothing turns off. It is awesome! You should be as excited as I am.
How many games you got in there? Because I think you exceed the number of games I have.
In the basement, I've got 20 games.
Oh. Yeah.
So here's the thing. They run at about 1.5 amps, right? So if you have 10 on one circuit, 15 amps, boom, you're done. So you got to be careful.
Yeah, you need 20. So we've been trying to get a commercial guy to come out and drop like 5 drops in the shop as we keep blowing circuits when we do stuff.
Yeah, so I'm super jazzed because guess what, guys? I'm gonna have my first spring retro party, which is gonna be an arcade party, and a classic computer arcade party. Because I'm gonna do the classic computers in the garage this spring. First time I've had one in like 4 years.
Nice.
I think it's going to be awesome. So I'm super jazzed.
I'm really distracted because Jennifer Aniston is going to be single now. I'm going to have to talk to my wife.
What, Jennifer Aniston?
Jennifer Aniston.
You like her?
She's super cute, dude. I met her in 2001.
Really?
Yeah, she said, "Hey, get away from me." No.
Why did you meet her?
I was in a House of Blues in L.A. And
Dude.
I was upstairs in the VIP room.
Dude, I gotta invite two more people to the chat. White Fox, and Trapper Door MD. 2 new guys in the chat. Fucking, I'm sorry.
Ooh.
I used the F word.
We're R-rated now.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Welcome to the chat, dudes.
Welcome. I don't know why. You don't need to delay. Nobody's gonna be able to, audibly reply to you. So
They're replying to me. Welcome, guys. See?
Oh, but there's like a 15-second delay. So
There's like a 5-second delay. And this martini is really good. Thanks for the idea.
Yep, you got to do it.
A little Tito's vodka.
Taito, can I have a tissue?
I have to admit, I probably wouldn't have known about Tito's vodka. Well, I probably wouldn't have known about it. Because, I drink vodka. But I think John Jacobson Jingleheimer Schmidt was probably the first guy to introduce me to Tito's vodka.
Yeah, I hadn't seen it before at all. And so arcade dudes everywhere now drink Tito's. Anybody in the chat drink Tito's because of John? Feel free. I think he should get a little fee for that.
I think so too. Well, but I'm a Kettle One mate. I like Kettle One mate. That's
I see.
One of my favorite vodkas because I'm Dutch, so I got to drink it.
You're Dutch. Does that mean you split stuff up with people?
No, that's where the Kettle One comes from, right? Something like that.
Hey,
What were we talking about anyway?
We're moving on to the arcade news, I think.
What?
Yep.
You got to be kidding me already?
Yep.
Oh my God.
It's the Arcade News with Adam Stevens.
Holy buckets, there's all kinds of news happening. And, by the way, the Switch is getting a fantastic little arcade stand in Japan around May. It is a red tent.
A little red tent, like a baby red tent.
Yeah. Mark, tell us about this thing,
Well, the stand itself is made of ABS plastic. And
Plastic?
as you know, ABS stands...
Plastics,
What?
they're very good. Plastics are very good.
ABS, awesome, bendable, and sticky. I don't know. You can put 2 Switch consoles and 4 Joy-Con gamepads in it. I think there's room for some charger cables to keep the Switch consoles charged. I'm not sure if that's true for the Joy-Cons, but hey, you can try to read Japanese and order them, and then you can tell us.
Yeah.
So
How much is it going to cost?
It's only 8,300 yen, and as you know, that's about $77 in...
Which is only
Here on this
$11 off from 88 miles per hour.
Is it 11? Yeah, you're right. It's a great way to enjoy the local multiplayer setup that the Switch offers while also reminiscing about the good old days of classic arcade gaming, which, by the way, I'd never seen a red tent before.
Hold up, you guys. Hold. Just hold up a second. Trapper Door MD says, yes, news is Billy cheated. Are we going to talk about this? We got to talk about this, right? Let's talk about it.
Don't you want to talk about how the Taito president went undercover boss at his arcade chain?
Yes, I want to talk about that first. So let's do that.
Nice.
All right, here we go.
Taito's...
Taito!
I don't know why it tells me Taito, an amusement company.
Taito!
Renowned for their Invader games.
Sorry about that.
And arcade chains. The guy disguised him, hid his identity, and then he learned the hardships of working at an arcade as he got shouted at by some part-time workers and staff.
Was this in like 1983?
No, this is like this week.
Are you kidding me?
Oh yeah.
You should. The Taito stations in Tokyo are impressive. I mean, it's. I was just over there in September, and there's in Akihabara. There's multiple Taito arcades within blocks of each other, and then around the city there's multiple Taito arcades. But they're really interesting. I mean, it's like stepping back in time, just with hundreds of candy cabinets.
Really?
Huh, that's awesome. Man,
Hey,
we don't got anything like that. I know it's hard to find a candy cab in Texas.
Well, I mean, what's crazy about over there is that you go in, and it really is. You expect to see. I mean, I remember growing up and going to the arcades, and it was a bunch of teenagers. And I mean, the age range over there is. I mean, everything from you'll see people in the early teens up through. I saw guys who looked like they were in their mid 50s and 60s, and there's one guy sitting there playing. With Space Harrier. Who looked like he was in his early 60s, smoking cigarettes and just putting them out on the ashtray that's on the control panel. It was hilarious.
I don't mean to be
God,
dumb.
that's hilarious.
I had to break. There was like a dead air space.
Yeah. So it's interesting. White Fox says, I thought it was pronounced Taito. And it's interesting because for my entire young teenage life, I thought it was Taito as also. But here's the thing: is that if you play any of the what are they? There's a whole like puzzle bobble games on the PlayStation 2 or any of the games. You'll hear the manufacturer says Taito, so Taito is probably the correct pronunciation of that, and Taito is but I still call it Taito. So whatever, potato, whatever. Right.
Unless we get hate mail from Taito.
Right. I mean we sorry about that. Anyway,
that's kind of cool.
So yeah. So news articles. What else we got going on in the news articles? We got Taito.
Right, and then I guess we can talk about this other thing, which I think Bryan has like an amazing observation. And I agree with it.
So here's the thing. I don't know how I feel about this. I just don't know if we should be discussing this on the air. Arcade Radio wants to be like, we don't want to exclude anybody. We want to include everybody. We want to, but here's the freaking thing.
Use your words.
Catherine Despera was on last week, and she was very, very reserved with her answers. Don't you agree, Mark?
I mean, to an extent, yes, I think so.
I think she could have been much more scathing. And a couple of our friends here locally were approached by Billy Mitchell's agent and asked to review their statement. And I think that's, I don't know. I just Bryan, maybe you can enlighten us to the insights here, what we're going on to.
Well, I think I think one of the things that I've seen through all of this is that over the last year, there's kind of been multiple rifts for a number of reasons. And I actually tuned in last week and was Catherine was, I thought, very articulate, and I expected kind of with some of her Facebook posts to be much more aggressive on some things, and was actually really impressed with just her conversation and how she approached things. But I feel like there's been multiple rifts in the community, and this latest one with the whole conflict with what happened with Billy and the scores. A couple of people were approached and asked to review kind of technical articles, and my personal feeling is that regardless of whether or not something was done wrong, by the article or the recording, that the scores weren't entered correctly regardless. And we know that, and everybody kind of accepts that. And the high scores have been taken away at this point. That's kind of a foregone conclusion. I think it's just kind of time to move on. And I think the ongoing kind of conflict is really not doing a lot of good. And my 2 cents was, if you did the score, just go out and do it again. And if you can't, go down trying. But I don't see another solution to this. And I think that the conflict that it's bringing up is doing a lot more harm than good. And that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I think we don't need another rift element. We're very bipartisan, except for in the case of LCD versus CRT. But Billy did it or didn't do it. I mean, that's just another divisive thing that we just don't need. The community is so small, and there's not a lot of point to it, I think. So I agree. I think that the scores are dismissed. We can, move on. I mean, we've accepted other people who had fake Donkey Kong scores, 3 million, cough, cough, and so.
Well, I think the other thing is too, and not to speak it up or down, but I mean, I would be disappointed. I'm disappointed that the scores could be or are fake. But I think there's also the side of things that there's many accomplishments by many people in the community, including Billy, that have had things like this happen that are still outstanding. I mean, there's multiple other achievements, scores, and things that he's done, and multiple other pieces of attention he's brought to the community that I think are respectable. And I think hovering on this I really don't see where we go with it that brings anything positive out or helps anybody in the end. I think the scores have been removed, the statement has been made, and I think it's time to just kind of move down the road and keep going.
So, so with that, what's your final statement about how to fix the community?
I don't know that it does that much. I mean, the bottom line is that the scores were already beat.
I like that.
So it's like they were already exceeded. So what's it going to do? And I mean, there is the point. I mean, it is tougher to hit some of those scores. It's tougher to have those reaction timings as we get older. I mean, I think those of us who get up there a little bit are noticing we're not quite playing the way we used to. And so whether or not he's able to do it again, I don't know. But I think that's kind of beside the point at this point in time. I mean, there's better scores, there's higher scores than they were. I think it's time to just move on.
I agree. I think that I am officially closing this chapter of the Arcade Radio podcast Billy Mitchell topic. What do you think?
Well, that's
unless something new comes.
It's awesome.
I don't know. All right.
So
good deal.
There's a little piece of news that is not as popular in Forbes or anything else like that, but for people in the Chicagoland area, Galloping Ghost is having a swap meet this weekend.
What? Can you swap any game for one of their games?
That would be awesome. I don't think it's quite that aggressive, but no, they host these every now and then where they invite local collectors and some of the guys in the community show up with boards and games and just kind of everybody tries to exchange things for stuff they need and get rid of stuff they don't. But I don't know about you guys. I need everything on my shelves. There's nothing that I don't need. But the idea is, just kind of to get people out, get them to meet each other, and try and get some constructive things done.
I need a transparent yellow leaf switch button. I don't know why you cannot find one anywhere.
For what game?
Just a generic one. I want to put it on my Joust. I want 2 of them.
Yeah, then there aren't even any pinball ones?
No, it's the weirdest thing. I went everywhere. I mean, I guess I could go order from Japan or something, but we don't like to do that. Anyway. Womp wah.
I'm not believing you. I have to check this out.
Transparent yellow.
Back in '82, I used to be able to throw a pigskin quarter mile.
Back to the Cade with Time Runner.
Why are things so heavy in the future? Is there a problem with the Earth's gravitational pull?
All right, welcome to Back to the Cade. Today's date will be February 15th, 1985. Our first topic is arcade news, as always. And guess what? Nothing was going on February 15th, 1985. I think the video game / arcade community was sort of recovering from their crash still. A lot of fun stuff started happening later on that year. You know, it's one of those things. Wait, is that the little... I don't hear my little special effect sounds.
You're doing just fine.
Am I? Okay, great. Also, the box office, I feel like I just mentioned this. Beverly Hills Cop was number one. Was that like number one for like half a year? I don't even want to talk about it. I think I need to pick another day. Like, I should just make sure Beverly Hills Cop is not out next time I pick a date. And speaking of things that happened in 85 that are happening again in 2018, the Winter Olympics. Full swing on ABC, and I'm sure we were all just glued to the TV. I don't think so. And believe me, CBS, they thought, here, let's put up this one up against the Winter Olympics. The second half of Gone with the Wind was on. And do you think that
on TV?
A major television network could do that in 2018, put on Gone with the Wind?
No.
Yeah, but in 1985, they did it. All the fun shows were on NBC. Real People, Facts of Life, Night Court, and St. Elsewhere.
Here's the thing. We're about to do What's in the Juke, right?
What's in the Juke?
I
like that. Nice and short.
We have to find it. It works, right? It works.
Now they're already guessing games. Money for nothing. Dire Straits.
So now we're going to play some clips. Is that how it works?
We're going to play some clips. It's always going to be Adam until I get off my cheap butt and pay for this tool that lets me...
I think this one's actually been on the show before.
I don't know, but I like it.
All right, here we go. Well, that's not it.
Oh, but let's guess what that is.
Yeah, that's right. Who's got this, right?
Well, only you know that one, right? Brian, could you get that
one? This has nothing to do with 1985. We're doing Dancing Queen ABBA. Oh my God.
We had 3 cassettes in my car growing up. Oliver Twist, Sound of Music, and ABBA.
Oh my gosh.
It was terrible.
I don't think we had any cassettes. Well, that was a good one. Now, let's play one that came out in around that time zone, Mr. Stevens.
All right. Nah.
I'll settle down now.
So this one you may have heard on the show before. Right?
Allegedly. I don't know. I think it's
we had a conversation about this. You're like, who is blah blah blah. Here we go.
Whoa.
You think
that's
that's
just
enough?
A lot.
Easy Lover, Annie Baldwin. Genesis. No, that's wrong. It's wrong. It's not Genesis.
Randy said he was behind, and then he did catch up. And so, Brian, as we're playing, these people in the chat are guessing, and that's like our little shtick. We've got to do this 8 more times.
Well, we could do 5 of them. We don't have to do all 10.
I like it. No, these are fun ones. I picked some of these out. They weren't all like one after the other in the top 10.
Actually, Phil Collins was not the lead on this. So good, Casey. You've already have -2 on this. No,
Although I
no.
can see Phil singing it.
He sings in the song, but it is not his song.
Oh.
Yep.
You see, now you should get a copy of the song with that guy singing it.
Like Phil Collins.
The black guy.
Ratman.
Yeah, let's make it as, Oh my god, you guys. Use the internet.
It's the same song, right? Yeah, totally.
We're gonna get flagged for that one.
Oh, now, yeah.
That's Philip Bailey, guys. There you go. Philip Michael Bailey.
Philip Bailey.
Randy Gelking. Should we give him 1 point?
Yeah, if we were actually tracking points, we should.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Next one is... Oh, this one's bad.
Okay.
Here we go. That's all I'm giving. That's pretty good, though, isn't it?
Casey, you are 15 minutes behind. Wow. Boom. I want to know what I owe.
Oh, my God. Casey got it. Did he get it or what?
He did.
What song is it, Mark?
I want to know what love is. I want to know what love is. I am not a smart man.
Oh, my God.
Wait a minute.
That is not how it goes. Okay. I want to play a different cut of this one, see if I can throw him off.
Is he smart like me? That's a tough one. It's not like... Can you imagine a dude hanging off the side of a cigarette truck flying down the road?
Yes.
Okay. Well, good. Oh, wow, they got it.
Who got it? Who got it?
Randy.
Randy got it?
I don't know if he's just faster than Casey, or maybe... Is Randy closer to the YouTube servers? How's this happening?
There's some competition going on here, right?
All right. We should pick some songs out in 1997 and nobody will get them.
You think. Are we ready for the next one?
There's so much free time.
We've already done this song.
What?
Yeah.
Whenever you say that, I look it up and it turns out we haven't done it.
This one we've done. I hate this song.
Which one? Well, then skip it. Go to the next one.
Now here it goes. That's it.
What? I thought you just played that.
I did not play that.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, that sounds like I Want to Know What Love Is again.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't play that.
Oh, yes, you did.
Did I play that already?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys got it. No wonder that's I've heard
You
this.
hate it now?
Oh my god.
Oh, I remember a time of playing this. I couldn't remember when. Maybe 3 minutes ago.
Oh my god. You guys have to be shitting.
No more martinis for you, sir.
Sorry. There we go. That's it. That's all I'm giving you.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Play it again. I love that song.
Oh my god, Casey got it.
Dude, we're going to invite Casey to hang. Casey, you're going to come on the show live next week, and we're going to have you go against the guest.
Jeez Louise.
What do you think? I think that's a
Yeah,
good
but what if
idea.
That's a lot of pressure on the guest.
Who gives it? Bleep. Okay, so this song I sang into the mirror. I probably shouldn't tell anybody that.
Play it on the piano.
Well, so you can play it on the piano, really? All right,
yeah.
Here he goes. That's all I'm playing. I heard it. Who is it coming on? It's freaking on.
That was in one of the Karate Kids, wasn't it?
What's going on here? Is that it played like 8 times over at Brian's?
No, that was me playing it on my piano.
Oh. Take me as I am. Randy's on. Hold me now. They're getting close. It's great. They're not actually using the internet. We did, Casey. We had this a few weeks ago.
No, not this song, but another song by the same band. Oh my God, they don't know. This is awesome.
Seriously? You guys. Yes, Randy got it. You're the inspiration. Give it to Randall. Dang. You guys are awesome, though. I mean, seriously. I love this segment of the show. Don't you, Mark?
Well, yeah. It's my segment, of course.
I think it's great. Here's the next one. That's it.
Yeah, that's...
Don't you think that's enough?
That's perfect.
I'll play it again.
You know?
And this is a Minnesota band, so...
I prefer the Jay and Silent Bob version myself. Yeah, me too, Randy. I got my Chicago. Yep, Andy Baldwin's got it. Jungle Love.
Morris Day. Close, buddy. The time. Randy actually got it with the time. I think Randy's leading the crowd today.
Yeah, normally Casey kills. It's weird.
His
I
wife's
love this next song.
His wife's not on, you know.
Oh, I see. He has nobody to impress.
All right, here we go. This is going to be one of the easiest ones, I think.
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I'm not sure about that.
All right, here we go. Here we go. What do you think? Is that good?
Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah, somebody may know that one.
Relax. That was Randy right away. Holy crap.
It was starting.
Holy buckets.
You probably should just give them like
Frankie,
2 beats and that's it.
Oh my God, you guys were both like on it. I don't even know. They were so close. I think we might have to have a little, we might have to have a little buzzer action on the next show. We'll have both guys on.
We'll dial them in.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I think that's what this show is doing, figuring out who we will dial in for that show.
Oh my God.
Got it.
And if I can't believe freaking Dan is not on this show because seriously. The next song, here we go. That's it. That's all I'm playing.
So good.
Andy Baldwin says his connection is lagging. I can't blame him.
Yep.
You got it.
Even with a lagging one, you got it.
He got it. Foolish Heart. Oh my God. Steve Perry. Dudes. Oh my God, you guys. You're awesome. All right.
Is Steve somewhere out in Minnesota? I mean, he was hanging out with that band like a couple of years ago and everything.
Oh my God. And this is ironic because the next song is right?
They're saying it's more of a typing contest.
Well, they might be. They could be right. That's why I think we should pit somebody against our guest, right?
Yeah. That band's breaking up.
I know, right?
Aaron Sanders weighs in with Only the Young. Only the Lonely. He got close, but it was Only the Young. And that was Randy Galkin who put that in there. But Casey got Journey out of the gate. So everybody got it, right? That's pretty much it. All right, this is the last song. Oh my God, I hate this song.
I love this song.
I know you listen to it every night.
No, not anymore.
Here we go.
There you go.
Material Girl, Casey got it. Randy got it before him, though. Again. Randy got it tonight. Holy.
He got the full name.
He does. He's got it all. Not even worth typing. Andy wins because of his answer.
Aw.
Oh. Dudes, that was awesome. You guys did great this week. Oh, my God. What do you think, Mark?
Oh, my God.
Mark, what do you think of this segment?
I like it. We should do 50 songs.
No, 5 might be good.
Yeah,
So-
10 is probably pushing it. I mean, sorry, Brian, we're still experimenting with this segment here.
Yeah, we
You
are.
do a little segment where you do a sound from a game, and they have to identify it
Ooh,
A sound for what now?
a game.
from a game.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
What's in the Cade?
Oh, what's in the Cade? We can do what's in the juke and then what's in the Cade.
We'll send royalties directly to you, Brian.
Yeah, Andy Baldwin's like, guys should find some more. Here's a suggestion, Mark. For the next segment, let's do the bottom 10 of the 40.
Oh, my God. Okay. Yeah.
Let's do that. Because I think he's right. Everybody knows the top 10. Everybody knows the top 10.
No. I didn't pull these out of the top 10. I pulled out of the top 50.
Okay. So let's do what was like just entering the charts in 1985.
Okay.
And this is episode 40. And this is This is
Gosh, had there been 40 episodes?
not quite yet.
Okay.
We're getting close. We're on episode 10 of season 2, which means we're at actually episode 32. So we're actually only like eight episodes from episode 40. I think it's good. So, are we looking for listener calls or what's going on here?
Yeah, I mean, somebody always calls eventually.
Well, let's take a look here. I've got a call here. I feel like I should maybe, if I play this, it might not. I don't know.
I think it'll sound fine.
You think so? Oh my God! I'm worried it's Bob again. Don't you think it's Bob again?
It's always Bob.
Why is
Bob
it
always calls.
Bob always calls. He does. He calls very regularly. I mean, Brian, have you ever heard Bob call our show?
I have, but it's been a while.
I mean, the guy is genuinely, enthusiastic. At the very least.
Enthusiastic is good.
Well, we like enthusiastic. But I don't know. Do you think if I play? Does anybody actually in the chat want to hear this guy call us in again? Really?
It's kind of like this show's. Who's the guy that was on Arcade Outsiders all the time? Speak like
That's Bobcat Goldthwait, and Goldthwait,
another Bob.
But the thing, it is another Bob. But here's the thing: is that guy already existed. Our Bob is like legit. He's legit.
Bobcat would call.
Oh, here we go. Oh, wait. That's normally where we play the song, right?
Well, the voicemail, unless he's singing it. So.
He's gonna sing it?
I hope not.
Well, I don't know. You got.
I see. We're killing time so that Andy can apply a filter to it.
Who's Andy?
Not Andy. I meant Adam.
Andy.
I don't know. I'm slip of the tongue.
This all sounds really made up right now.
Wait for the next martini.
I'm gonna tell my wife to beer me just a moment.
But you just had a martini. You can't have her beer you.
No, she's gonna Zima me.
Zima. Really?
Zima.
There's still Zima? Really?
Well, they brought it back, and I bought a lot. A lot.
Well, how much did you buy?
At least a couple cases. It's limited edition. You got to do it. I'm asking for some grape.
Welcome.
Okay, go for it. What was that?
I don't know. What am I looking for?
Aaron is willing to trade arcade parts for Zima.
All right. Here we go.
Hello, Arcade Radio hosers. It's your buddy, Bob Zarzanek calling.
He sounds quiet.
I'm a control panel expert and a technician. Did you know that? Yeah, it's true. Well, I'm still hanging out on that drone ship. It turned out that center core that I shot last week into the ocean, it makes a great barbecue pit. It's great. Got the charcoal looking real good right now. I'm gonna cook some dead fish that didn't make it when the rocket landed on its belly. It's gonna be good. I can't wait. I just can't talk about. You guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been drinking Zima all day.
Hey.
I'm gonna have to make this short, or I might say something I'm gonna regret. I can't say the word regret anymore. That's how much Zima I've had. Anyway, here's my question for the night. What game in your collection would you use to start a fire if your life depended on it? And like if you had some really good steaks but no firewood, you gotta pick one. It has to be in your collection, like not storage, but one that's in your house. All right, that's all I got. I'll see you on the flip side. Zarzadak out.
That's terrible. Did everybody hear that?
Pretty much. It was a little faint. I don't know what was going on there.
Yeah. It's a little quiet. But you know what? I think he asked, what game would you set on fire if you need to start a fire?
Yeah, like you're going to die from it's like -50 maybe. You have to use one game to start a fire to make you, to get you through it. And it has to be a game that's in your house right now.
Not storage.
No.
I'm not.
Desperate times call for desperate
I can't light
measures.
any of my games on fire.
Hey, we almost had to do this. 2 weeks ago, our boiler went out. It was getting desperate.
And you're just going to burn them up?
I just light them up.
Just one.
One game? You go first, Mark.
Excuse me. I'm choking on my grape-flavored Zima. I have 2 asteroids in here right now, so is that not fair?
2 asteroids.
That might be one cabinet. So you have to eliminate one game, I think, is the fair question.
Okay. Let's see.
Oh my God.
One game. No. I guess I get rid of the Satan's Hollow.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
It's not restored, and frankly, finding the parts is really difficult. So if I had to, I would get rid of that one, because I'd probably find another one later.
Yeah, well,
It's like some terrible driving game right now with these fake booby bikini girls on the marquee, and it's just awful.
Satan's Hollow?
No, it's not a Satan's Hollow now. It's some other game. Yeah. But I know it's a Satan's Hollow underneath, if I could just find $700 worth of parts.
That's the best part now is you find these cabinets and it's like, oh, $100 cabinet or $200 cabinet. I can make this back to Satan's Hollow for more than I would spend to just find a Satan's Hollow one day.
Yeah.
Right.
I can't get rid of any of my games. I'm sorry.
You got to pick one. This is basically a hierarchy. And you're not really getting rid of it. You're just saying you're going to burn it.
I guess moose control.
The hell game is that? Moose control.
I made it up.
Yeah.
I would have to probably do Mousetrap.
Yeah. I could see that.
What else am I gonna do? Because here's the lineup, right? I have Donkey Kong, Popeye. Some people love Popeye, some people hate Popeye. I love Popeye. I have Missile Command. I have Tempest. And then I have Dig Dug, which is my multi-game, and it's got a bunch of really cool games, Galaga, Super Pack, all kinds of stuff. And then I have Mousetrap, and then I have APB, which I restored from the ground up with powder-coated, seat bar and everything. And then I have 3 pinballs. I have Warlords. I have, my jukebox. I've got Atari Football. I've got my Tapper cocktail. And I've got Star Wars. And I've got Centipede, my cabaret. I've got Miss Pac-Man, my cabaret. I've got Joust. I've got Defender. I've got a Robotron, cocktail. And then Monaco GP. And I can't get rid of anything. It's like maybe Mousetrap. That's the only thing I can think of.
Well, your Mousetrap, it's got sound, right? You got that working?
It does. It does. It works.
Yeah.
It works. Yeah.
Yep, I can see that. Isn't that your fiance's machine? I seem to think.
Oh boy, no, I'm really in
Wow.
trouble. I'm really in trouble. Oh my god.
Okay, Brian, what about you? I don't even know how many games you have in your house. Any? What happened?
Get rid of one. Get rid of one.
Did we mute Brian? What happened? Is he okay?
I'm like losing you guys. You're going in and out.
Oh, there you are. Hi.
We're here. Go ahead. Tell us what game you get rid of.
I think at this point, I'd probably get rid of Omega Race because it is really irritating the hell out of me.
Oh, Jeers. I love the game. You can't get rid of it.
But if I had to get rid of a working one right now, I have one of those team play Missile Command Centipede Millipede games, and that one is just not doing it for me.
It's a modern one, or?
Yeah, it's one of the new ones that has 3 games in it. It just isn't doing it.
No.
It turned Missile Command into a vertical game.
Yeah. That's terrible.
He's asking me upright or cockpit. I have the upright in the arcade, and I have the cockpit in storage.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't burn the cockpit.
I'm ready to push both of them off a cliff.
Oh.
Well done. Well done. You were an easy and adequate, a stimulating and outstanding opponent.
Wait, is that it? We're done?
We're done. Let's interview. Let's try to interview Brian.
Okay. Wait. We have a new intro for you, Brian.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, this is good. You're going to love it. Here it goes.
That was it? Sounds like Yoda and a bunch of gremlins. Oh my God, weirdo.
Please welcome Bryan Armitage to McLeod to the show. Welcome. Welcome. Dude, you've already been on the show. This is your second time on the show, or maybe third.
I think this is my third. You had me for a little segment once, and it was painful enough that you resisted asking me again for 9 months.
Well, that's how much we love you.
What's the follow-up on that? You know, the last time you had a little a robbery. A robbery.
Oh, a robbery?
A robbery.
Yeah, well, you know. Oh my god, my dog is driving me nuts. So my first question is, what are we going to talk about?
Well, I was going to say a follow-up. Like, I'm assuming that was never found, and
Well, so the cabinets turned up, but the trailer never did.
cabinets.
So there were 3 cabinets that were stolen in the trailer, and I was contacted by one of the guys down in southern Minnesota. Said, "Hey, look, I found this system and I can't figure out how to make it work. You might know something about it. Can you help me get this working?" And I looked at it and said, "Hey, those are the arcade games that we built custom, and insurance didn't reimburse us for them." They had been left out next to a dump, rained on. And so we got the parts back. There were like parts in these cabinets that were custom parts that there's only 10 of them in existence. The other 6 of them we had, the 4 were in the games that were stolen. So it was interesting. And actually, the Wizard of War that was in the trailer also was with them. And that's supposed to reappear in the next couple of weeks. So, but in the meantime, our we have lost another trailer.
What?
Which was our older open trailer, which was chained to a pole, so they had to lift it up over the pole, unlock the wheel, unlock the hitch lock, and get it out of there. So we have gone to advanced GPS tracking on our trailers now. So we have a covered trailer, which we did get reimbursement for the trailer. So we picked up another trailer, and we actually have a GPS unit in there now. So anytime somebody moves the damn thing, a little alert goes off on our phones and tells us where it is and where it's going. So we almost want it to be stolen now by the same guys. But that is the update.
Dude.
I know. Lots of adventure.
Where do you live? I mean, where are these trailers kept? And like,
not a bad section of Minneapolis. Like by Nokomis.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh wow.
It's just it's actually funny the junkyard that they were found in. So in the process of like tracking this down to where it came from, the irony of it is that I found a 6-player X-Men. And found a couple other games in the process of talking to the people who these exchange hands through. But the junkyard that they were found next to evidently is this like place in southern Minnesota where tons of stuff is recycled and dropped off from the cities, and there's like repeated trailers going in and out of there that have been stolen from all over the state. It's like a well-known, hey, this is where you get rid of stuff. So
messed up, man.
Yeah, it was. I kind of got to the point where I said, "Do I want to figure this out?" And I decided not really. I just kind of want to move on. So, about 9 months after, and about 6 months after we'd received like a settlement from the insurance company, I just said, "Just let it go." So, that was it.
All right. Sort of a happy ending. I'm, gonna just close the book on that one.
Comical, but always an adventure.
Right. I don't know how you broach the whole, hey, you have my stolen property thing with that one guy, but
it's actually, I mean, that was really funny because he writes me and he's all excited. He's like, "These are really cool, like, you know about these." And I wrote him back and said, "Yes, I know a lot about them. They were stolen from me a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago." And there's just silence, and it was on a Facebook chat. There's just no answer for about 10 minutes, and then, "Oh, do you want them back?"
Yeah.
So it all ended up really good. Actually, he's coming up here in the next couple of days to buy some stuff from the store. It was a lot of the guys. One of the neat things about the Minnesota group is they're pretty close to each other, and everybody gets along pretty well. So it wasn't an intentional, somebody trying to take advantage of anything. When they realized that something had happened, they were trying to do what was right and make it right, which is always good.
Minnesota, nice. I actually have an opportunity, which only if this other guy is into it, to come back to Minnesota and rent an apartment and work there for a bit. So
nice.
Fingers crossed, so that maybe my stuff can be stolen and then returned by a nice guy.
You can come stay in the arcade B&B.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'll make a company pay for that.
Wait a minute.
That happens.
I think that's new since the last show.
You're planning on coming back here?
Well, not during the winter, but just during the good 4-month window.
He must have been gone for a while because he thinks it's 4 months.
It's 4 months when it's nice-ish.
Yeah, maybe 3.
I mean, I can, if it's 40, 30 degrees outside, that's t-shirt weather for me, so.
That's true. Well, hey, it was up in the 30s today. Stuff was melting.
It's 76 here today.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I still
the other fun news we have is that we are playing around with an analog stick.
I like playing around with my analog stick.
Yes, but this is actually a large analog.
Oh yeah.
And
geez, you guys we just lost 6 chatters. They just
everybody left.
Dropped off. It was very sad. So, what are you doing with your stick?
Well, we have this analog to digital stick that is primarily targeting the fighting game community right now, but we're starting to look at what games are basically impossible to find sticks for, and we have the ability to emulate those signals. So you take something like a food fight, and we can set up the stick to be a food fight stick. So it's we're kind of playing around with a few things with it. It's mainly targeting the fighting game community right now, but it should be kind of interesting. And it's basically a Hall effect stick with 8 sensors, and allows us has an ARM chip embedded, so we can do a ton of stuff.
Sorry.
What?
The dog's gonna fart.
What? How do you know that?
Because I just fed her Indian food.
My dogs never do that.
What kind of dogs do you have?
They're technically all Cavachons. They're Cavalier King Charles and Bichon mixes, although one totally looks like a Cavalier and did not take any Bichon genes at all.
I have a 18-month-old 70-pound lab. She's like a goat.
Oh yeah.
She just eats everything. It's very sad. What were we talking about again?
Well, Brian gave his news. Do you want to ask Brian? Have you learned any new surgical techniques? Or
by the way, a lot of people don't know what your story is. Why don't you just give your origin story? Because we haven't heard that in like a year.
My origin story?
Yep.
Did you ask it? I think that Brian was on the show before I even joined.
My origin story.
He was like the third guest. You were like our third guest ever.
I was.
Yeah. Paradise Arcade. So first of all, give us the website of your arcade and tell us what you sell on the side.
It's paradisearcadeshop.com, and we sell a wide variety of parts. For the classic guys, we do a lot of kind of cocktail brackets, the clips for glass and cocktails. We have a number of different shaft replacements. We have all the IL parts.
For your shaft replacements, please check out the Paradise Shop.
And the MCR board holder brackets.
MCR board holder. Yeah, they got a lot of stuff. And not only that, but Brian, and you just mentioned it on the show, but you made some special brackets for Tapper, which was...
I did. We actually still have some, too. So if anybody has a Tapper cocktail for our lovely host, we actually made brass brackets, cocktail brackets.
Oh, they're so cool, man.
And so they're polished brass. And Aaron is mentioning the 4-inch Robo Sticks. I think we have them back in stock. So,
Sweet.
Yes, we do have the Robotron sticks back in stock. Actually, Wolfiel, guys, so this is one of the things that a lot of people I don't think realize that we do, one of the guys on KLOV, Wolffield, wanted to do Robotron shafts, and he was able to do the shafts, but he couldn't do the ball tops. And so we have a lot of
Shafts
production
and ball tops
here in the world. And we hooked up with him, and for 2 years, he sold the shafts. We got the balls for him at cost. And then when he was done with that, he handed the project off to us, and we took it over.
Sweet.
But we actually do the same thing with the Bit Kit right now by Crafty Mech. We produce that for them.
Awesome.
And so we're always kind of looking for projects. And we one of the things we really love to do is we've built up a lot of resources for manufacturing. And so people come to us and they say, well, we find people, or they come to us and they want to try and do something. And we can often get it done for very economical prices and make it practical to sell in the community and actually generate some income for the next project.
So to be clear, you are offering bit kits now. And also, and by the way, those are the nib. Everybody's a fan of Tim McVeigh, who was on this show. If you like the Nibbler, you should be buying that from Paradise Arcade. Also, you do the reproduction Omega Race boards now, which are...
We do. So yes, that's another thing that we kind of took over and we started doing. Aaron, it's a mix of U.S.-based and overseas manufacturing. It depends on what we are doing. Some of the stuff like the hollow shafts that we produce for sticks, I have had them quoted out in the U.S. several times, and the pricing, they want more than I sell the shafts for in quantities of 200 to 500. So if we can do it in the U.S., we do it. We actually have a mold being done in Minneapolis right now for another product. But if we can't, then we do take it overseas. So it's actually really tough. The classic community, the margins on products and the demand of the community for quality products at low cost prices has gotten to the point where it is driving a lot of those things overseas. And Aaron, you are correct. We are doing our mold with Proto Labs right now.
Sweet, man.
So it's been quite a journey. If people haven't seen it, the other two guys that we're starting to work with are King Cobra. On KLOV does the pack to JAMA adapter that allows you to plug the board into your Pac-Man cabinet, and it automatically converts the AC power. It has a switching power circuit in it, so it converts the AC power over to DC power, and it's just a little adapter. So we're making that for him. We'll be carrying that in the store. And then Riddle TV, who does JAMA switchers, which we were supposed to have done at one point, and I massively dropped the ball on that. And Jim did them and did them really well, so I kind of teamed up with him, and we're starting to work on some of that stuff together. So Randall. I'm based in Minneapolis now. We used to be in Hawaii, which is where the name came from, and then I was dragged back to the cold north by the day job.
Speaking of which, I'm going to be in Hawaii on Sunday.
What? What, at an airport in Hawaii?
No, I'm flying to LA on Saturday, and then I'm flying to Hawaii on Sunday.
I love LA!
LA's fun. We're going to go to the Griffith Observatory, and then we're going to go to Amoeba Music.
Aaron, I know we've been trying to get the Hawaiian candy back. It is prohibitively expensive. We have two friends over there that ship it to us every now and then, and we run out within basically a couple of weeks, in part because we send a bunch of it out, but also we miss it a ton. So I will admit we eat a good portion of it when we do get boxes in, but we every now and then we'll get in probably 40 to 50 pounds by FedEx of Hawaiian candy, and we shove that in there.
Nice.
We have put, if anybody knows Pearson's, we've started putting some Pearson's candy in boxes, which is a Minneapolis company.
It is.
Oh, so when somebody buys something from you, they get some candy?
Yeah.
That was kind of our shtick for a while, and we did it because Susan and I kind of had this understanding that if it's a lot of guys, mostly guys that are ordering arcade parts, and a lot of women who are looking at them going, why the hell are you ordering that? And we've been told more than once that when the boxes came in from us, that they would hand the chocolate to their wives or girlfriends or whoever, and it was always okay for them to order from us.
That's actually awesome. That's a great idea.
So it is one of the things we miss. And the macadamia kisses, yeah, we really did like those. It was funny because we talked to Hawaiian Host about ordering directly from them.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the irony of it, is that it's actually really expensive to get it directly, even at wholesale pricing from Hawaiian Host. When we were in Hawaii, the only way it was practical to do the candy was to actually buy the candy at Walgreens, because Walgreens was able to sell it cheaper than the wholesale pricing that Hawaiian Host gave us.
Well, it actually makes sense to me.
So just bring some extra suitcases.
Exactly.
And
Adam, load up.
Yeah, find all the Walgreens.
Wait, what's our next question?
Well,
Did we talk about the Billy Mitchell thing?
Yeah, we did that. That's good.
We closed that chapter.
Yeah, that horse is dead.
Okay. Good. Let's see here. Moving forward, Galactic Battlegrounds. What are you doing with Galactic Battlegrounds? First of all, tell us what Galactic Battlegrounds is and how you're involved with that, Brian.
Yeah, actually, it's a great thing to bring up. So Galactic Battlegrounds is a 4-player competitive Galaga game that you Galaga-like game. And you have ships in the top and the bottom of the screen, and they're kind of attacking each other with bullets, very similar to a shot in Galaga, as well as these power-ups. And you have 3 lives. Each person has 3 lives and 3 power-ups per life, and when you're out, you're out. So these guys in Farmington, Minnesota, came up with the game. We got connected with them, and because of my background with controls, and then we've been doing cabinets, we started building cabinets for them and redoing their control, their control panel, so that it was a little bit more functional. And we're in the process of producing. We just actually did the second prototype cabinet. We're actually assembling 10 cabinets over the next month, and we're going to be putting them at different places around the cities, and actually trying to get them to different locations in the country for some trials. There will definitely be one at MGC. Probably talk to Doc about one, and we're going to get one out to CAX this summer.
Interestingly enough, I went to Can Wonderland here in St. Paul for the first time, and there was a Galactic Battlegrounds there.
That is their first home build cabinet. It's had a few revisions on the controls on there after we showed them a few different parts, and it's doing quite well there, actually.
It's interesting because I made all my family play it on the way out. It's a lot of fun. It's a good game. So Aaron Sanders from the chat says, what's your connection with Up Down again? He's interested in knowing what that is.
Yeah, so we don't have any true connection with them in the way that we're not business partners or investors or anything like that, but we actually do a lot of their repairs, and then we store a lot of the games for them. So we have a warehouse that we rented probably about 2 miles from our shop, and we split the space with Up Down. And then we just brought in a TV repair tech who's been doing TV repairs for about 30 years. And he goes to town on these cabinets, does amazing work, actually. So we're kind of using that as our start to an intro or an investigation into doing board repairs and monitor repairs in the shop.
Oh, that's pretty cool, actually. And and I still maintain Up Down is probably one of the best arcades around, not just in Minnesota, but I think it's one of the best ones. Like if you're gonna go and get a beer or a cocktail or play Killer Queen or play a classic pinball or arcade game or skee ball, that's the place to go. It
is, and they have better monitors now.
And why is that?
Because we've been fixing them all.
Nice.
Aaron just asked about chassis. We're not doing them yet. We do have a lot of the parts here that we're selling through the store, but we haven't opened up for full chassis repair. It is going to be happening soon, though. The guy that I'm working with, actually, we're gradually going through some different things. Like 3 months ago, I threw the first 6100 at him that he had to deal with. It took him about 5 hours to get it working. We just did one that came in parts, and it took him about 30 minutes to get it working and completely rebuilt. So we're getting some mastery of the machines before we go full on and start opening up to the public.
That's cool. I dig that. And Mark, what was your next question, Mark?
My next question is, I'm like going over the Paradise Arcade Shop looking for. Tell us about your new sensitive, reliably accurate, incredibly world famous Cherry MX micro switches.
Actually, that's a fighting game product. So we the fighting game market really doesn't. They don't really care whether or not you use original buttons, joysticks, or whatever. The arcade community, we like to find the old, original, crappy stuff, put it in the cabinet, and then play it the way it was meant to be played. The fighting game guys are always looking for the next best thing, so they can throw a better stick, better buttons, whatever, into their competition stick case and go compete with it. So those, what we did was we went out and we tried to improve upon the standard fighting button. And what we did was throw a Cherry MX switch in there, which extended the life about 10 times that of a regular Sanwa button. And then we shortened the throw by about 0.4 millimeters. So they were a little bit more sensitive. And then the Cherries, just by nature, have a more accurate response. And we've sold about 10 to 15,000 of the buttons. I mean, really,
awesome.
Really well.
Tell us about your Williams power supply replacement.
What?
Yeah, that actually came out of. So there's a lot of these switching power supply replacements, and I get very frustrated because they don't install in the original spot the power supply went into.
Ah.
A lot of times they lose some of the function, and so, admittedly, on some of the older Williams boards where they changed the pins for the power supply, this one won't light up the coin door. But in most of the newer ones, it will light up the coin door and activate the solenoids on the door so you can use coins in it. And so the board is larger. It runs a Hap Power Pro 200 watt, so a much more powerful power supply than it's on most. And it's just targeted at making it a more universal power supply replacement and then fastening where the original one went. We're also working on an MCR version, because I get so frustrated when I see like a switcher just bolted into the side of the cabinet when you have this nice slot for holding a power supply.
I agree. I love the fact that, and it goes for anybody who does a reproduction, but the Williams power supply, dudes, if you need to replace the power supply in your Williams setup, this is the bomb. It's like the real deal. You screw it into the same exact spot that your current Williams power supply is in, and it has this awesome 5 and 12 volt setup, and all of the connectors go to where they're supposed to, and even there's one connector that's like a dummy connector, but at least it has a spot to sit on the board, right, Brian?
Yeah, and actually the ones that the power supply we use has a negative 12 volt line also, which was the original spec on the Williams board, and so we recreate those voltages a little bit more accurately. And then I have a small setup on there for the door voltages and those things to convert them down.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. So any new projects you're working on, like any brand new products?
Well, we were getting bugged today. I think I'm going to have to dig in. I think the next big one is we're getting a lot of requests to do the centering bellows for some of the Atari sticks.
Oh, cool.
And the
grommet?
Start looking at them. I've got a guy in the Philippines, ironically enough, who does a lot of rubber work.
Rubber.
He's doing a lot of stuff with the Korean joysticks, which use grommets. And we've started working with him a lot more on some fighting game stuff, so I might pull him in and see if he can help out on doing some centering bellows.
Stimulating.
That's funny. Well, that's cool. So, and I also talked to you about maybe doing like a little APB triac board. We should talk about that.
You should. I know that there's and Paul Suranen locally is going to be bringing some projects by.
Man, that guy, he's funny. By the way, if you're a Minnesota collector, we have a Facebook group, right?
We do now.
Yeah.
Which has gotten more active and is kind of fun.
I love it. I think it's great.
Artu, are you sure this was a good idea?
I think it was a great idea, and we have a bunch of people now who are like local collectors, and I tried to start a group called The Usual Suspects, but maybe it was a little bit vague. And here's the thing. We're kind of, I find it kind of an open group. Like, here's what we're looking for, you know, and people are like helping each other out. I hope that's what it turns into, at least, you know?
Yep. And actually, Aaron had just commented on the bellows, Andy commented on the bellows. I believe that the Wiz has them. There was another, and I'll have to go back and check the chat that we were having about the stuff, but there was some concern about whether or not those were accurate and some of the other pieces in there. So that was kind of a conversation that came up today, and people asked me if I could help out with it.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. I mean, it's cool that they're like just volunteering their help to figure out if something's going on, you know?
Sometimes I just don't understand human behavior.
You know, it is what it is.
It is. And Aaron, I appreciate the offer. I'm actually what I consider a recovering engineer. So, or an engineer in denial. I did several years of product design before giving that up and moving on in life. This is kind of my way to get out those kicks and get my SolidWorks going.
Impressive.
Wow. Tonight.
It's a Star Wars night tonight, you know.
Okay. Are you excited about Solo?
You know, it's funny you ask that because I am sort of torn. I don't know. I mean, it's just.
The Emperor is not as forgiving as I am.
I mean, it could be good, but I don't know.
I have a bad feeling about this.
I have a really bad feeling about this.
It could be terrible.
Come on, it's Disney. They know what they're doing. I think that if it was that bad, they would delay it till December.
Don't do that.
Yes. Man, we could prank somebody with all this stuff you got.
Don't get excited.
I actually I'm worried about this one. The previews are not looking very good. And Randall, I really bought into most of the other Star Wars, and I thought 8 was fine. And I mean, I was one of the guys who was like, "Nah, I like it." But watching the Han's previews, I'm worried. I'm worried this is the one where I have to kind of turn my back on it and say, "Nope, you pushed it too far."
Yeah, you know, I don't know what to think. I have seen I've seen one trailer, and it didn't give away a lot of plot. But I don't know. I guess here's the thing: you kind of have to have an open mind about this. They're trying to reboot a franchise that lit up, you know, an imagination of a herd of thousands, hundreds of millions of 6-year-olds.
They rebooted it. It's done.
Don't everybody thank me at once.
I mean, they're building 2 Star Wars lands in each of the Disneys in Florida and California.
Yeah.
Well, there's a clip on YouTube. I might be late to the game, but somebody went and took all of the trailers from the beginning and put them all in order, and it's hilarious. I mean, it's like you go back and watch all the stuff. It's kind of comical watching the different trailers over time. I mean,
fuzzball.
Both the commentary, the graphics. I mean, all of the all the CGI stuff now, but also just the comments. Like you hear the announcers and the voiceovers. It's pretty amusing.
I think it's interesting because we all get bent out of shape. It doesn't matter if it's Star Trek or Star Wars or whatever, but you know, if they're trying to reboot a franchise, there is a 99% chance that the original crowd is not going to like it because they are expecting something, you know? And so it is what it is. I do feel like the current situation in filmmaking has made movies short attention span theater, and scenes are too short, and there's not enough contemplation that goes into science fiction today, and I there's all kinds of things I find problematic with filmmaking today. But I understand them wanting to keep the franchise going and reboot it for a new generation. So, in particular, like the new Star Trek Discovery, they have a tough job in front of them. They're introducing Star Trek to a whole new audience, right? And on top of that, they're trying to maintain continuity between previous shows like Enterprise and the original series and Next Gen, and that's a difficult when the show has been around for nearly 50, 60 years. How do you maintain continuity? You can't do it, because if you look at what they were trying to do in the 60s, for example, they're shooting a 23rd century show. We're not even in the 23rd century, so we know that we've got a ways to go. So all this technology has to be updated, and people don't like it, like especially like the 40-somethings of our generation who grew up on Star Wars and Star Trek and science fiction in 1970s. We don't want to see, this updated crap that's being put on in front of us. Speak for yourself. I love it. That's my point, is that if you don't have an open mind, I want another Beetlejuice, dude. Let's go. That would be awesome. I think they should do that and have Michael Keaton do a cameo, No, make him do it. He's ready. Oh, I bet he could. He can be Beetlejuice, totally. Yeah. No makeup. No problem. And no makeup. He just crazy hair, Wow.
I love, he was, I don't know. There's always an element in those movies of Michael Keaton where he is just nuts. Like, there's something about him that is just psychologically off and fit the characters. I mean, Beetlejuice, Batman. I mean, every time you watch it and you're like, so is he medicated? I mean, is this okay? Have you seen The Founder? It's in my queue. I have not watched it, and I know I need to. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry I have not watched it.
You have failed me for the last time.
Whoever's doing the soundboard tonight's doing a pretty good job.
Mark, I saw it. I thought it was excellent.
Me too.
So I have to see it, right?
Yeah.
It's great. I mean, and what happens at the end with, he does something and then you're like, oh, that's a pretty nice little technique. And then they show you what happened afterwards. You're like, oh my God, he's such a bastard. It's amazing.
Don't make me destroy you.
It's kind of funny because I was chatting with some people about that movie and they said, it made me hate McDonald's. And my response was, McDonald's wouldn't exist if he wasn't a bastard.
Right. Exactly. That's true of so many companies in America. I mean,
America.
I don't. Okay, this will easily. I can't go down this path. But you guys especially know where I'm going. But I cannot go down this path. And so many companies and so many people in this country have made it by being ruthless, and not discerning and insensitive and everything else. And I went to McDonald's as a kid. I remember going when I was 6 or 7 years old with my grandma and thinking it was the best place on earth, and we had birthday parties there. And I remember my cousins getting colored spoke covers for their bicycle wheels, and I don't know. Maybe.
I will say the favorite place to go for birthday parties growing up was not McDonald's. And you're going to love this, and it's pertinent to the show.
Get excited!
Because our local Burger King had a full arcade.
What?
That's where...
That sounds totally made up. So your local Burger King had a full 100% arcade. How many games were in there?
I played Cockpit Spy Hunter there.
Spy Hunter? A cockpit?
Yes. That's why I have a Cockpit Spy Hunter.
Oh, switch off.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Do take good care of yourself.
It was actually we loved it enough that we convinced my mom to have my dad's 40th birthday there, so we could all go to the arcade.
You were opponent.
I think Space Fury has gone berserk.
Well done. So, is there no warrior mightier than I?
Intruder alert, intruder alert.
So, what? Well, so, wait, yeah. What are you working on right this instant at Paradise, the Paradise Arcade Shop?
For products or games?
For games.
For games, what we have opened up right now is I'm actually installing an arcade SD in a really beat to hell Dig Dug Cabaret, and we're putting our new multi-panel on there to test that out. And I've got my Omega Race open. That's about to be rolled off the cliff. And we have a stud runner in back that is... It's actually a very interesting problem. If you put it into test mode...
Did you say you have a stud runner?
Stunt runner, right?
The
Atari game. If you put it into test mode, the analog controls show up. If you play the game, it doesn't steer or do anything.
Huh. That's weird. Whoa.
So those are our game projects right now.
Well, Stun Runner is a fun game. I really like Stun Runner. I actually had one. I sold it 2 years ago. But the problem with Stun Runner is it's the late 80s, you can buy your score. Which I don't like.
Yes. But it doesn't have free play.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the ADC, Aaron, because the values actually show up in the test menu, which is very odd. So I've got a second board set that I'm going to go grab tonight and drag over here and try and figure it out.
Aaron Sanders says he thinks Jed Margolin may have done the tests for hardware. I don't know who that is. Do you guys know?
No.
No. But I'll take his word for it.
What's the best part of your cereal in the morning? What's the best part? Drinking the milk after the cereal, right? Yeah. Everybody loves the milk after the cereal. Well, why not make cereal milk?
There you go.
Make it taste like Fruit Loops or Cocoa Pebbles. And just sell them quarts of milk, right? Cereal milk. People buy it up, man. Buy it up. Right? I know I would.
Yeah.
I love cereal milk.
I love cereal milk.
Me too. I mean, that's the best part of Man vs. Snake, in my opinion.
Oh my god. We need to make our own documentary.
Oh man. No, we have to make one that's completely... We'll make something up, like...
Wait, that's already been done.
No, yeah. No. It's going to be like the Blair Witch Project type thing. Wait, it'll be fun.
Oh my god, I'm so sick.
What'd you had, like 2 or 3 martinis or something?
No.
Do you have Eggs Benedict again?
Apologies.
Oh my god.
It's funny, I've had 3 Eggs Benedict today.
Really?
Yeah, well, it's my favorite thing, and my wife made 5 of them yesterday for Valentine's Day.
Oh my god.
So I've been, I had 2 yesterday and 3 for each meal today.
My sincerest apologies to you all, Steve Sanders.
Shut up, Steve.
I love that sound clip. It's like my favorite sound clip ever. And I don't ever play it. We need to have Steve Sanders on this show. Let's have him on the show.
Oh yeah, he'll come on. Yeah.
That thing would be great.
Sure.
He'll come on before Billy comes on this show. I don't know.
Let's get each one of those guys.
Speaking of, I don't know. Today in the mail, you guys, I got a certificate of registration. The certificate issued under the seal of the Copyright Office, in accordance with Title 17, United States Code, attests that the registration has been made for the work identified below. The information on this certificate has been made a part of the Copyright Office records. I have registered the outro song for our show.
Oh, and what do you... That's awesome, but...
I have a registration number. It is SRU1297517. Effective date, November 20, 2017. It shows that the title of the work, Do Not Eat, which is the title of the work, which is what I was reading at the time. I posted it on SoundCloud, and I completed it in 2015. The author is Adam C. Coyer. His pseudonym is Matarax. It's a sound recording. Citizen of the United States. Domiciled in the United States. Born in 1972. Copyright claimant, Adam C. Coyer. My address. Rights and permission, RcadeRadio LLC. Name, Adam Coyer. And my credentials. I am a certified copyright holder of the song Do Not Eat, which is the outro song for which another claimant on YouTube has been monetizing our work. Isn't that awesome?
That's terrible.
Now you get to monetize their work, those buttholes.
Well, here's the thing. If you're not a partner with YouTube, they don't scrape anything for your content. So I still have to defend my own original content against their claim, which is BS. So I've threatened their...
Oh, it's too bad you don't have that clip from... What was that? It's bullshit.
It's bullshit. Bullshit. That's from like Stripes, isn't it? Bullshit.
No, I think it's from a Tim Burton movie where, the Bela Lugosi one. Remember that one?
Oh my God.
No, but
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
I see you've run the gamut now.
I have.
Oh. Sorry if I'm distracted. I was looking for my Homer Horny letter.
Oh.
The Emperor is not as forgiving as I am.
Homer Horny is the judge in the district that I got a speeding ticket for 88 miles per hour in my DeLorean.
Oh, did they like sentence you and you got it and everything?
No, I mean I have to take defensive driving in 30 days.
Oh my God! In your DeLorean? In your DeLorean?
In my well, no, I won't have to take the defensive driving class in the DeLorean.
That'd be hilarious.
I have until March 15th. Okay, just looking.
Oh, I think it'll be great. I think it'd be awesome.
Yeah, it'll be great.
Well,
it's been 2 hours. How you feeling?
I'm feeling
you wish
like
you had gone to Blue Door now. What?
We should wrap this up. I wanted to thank Bryan Armitage for being on the show tonight.
Yes, Brian.
Thank you for having me,
dude.
And Mark, Susan just dropped off Blue Door.
Ooh.
Oh, nice. Blue Door is so good.
STPBB with tots.
Oh, their tots are the best. They're the best. You know? Anyway, you've been listening in to, what is this show again?
Arcade Radio.
Yeah, it's Arcade Radio. The double R's. You can text us at 612-548-GAME. That's 4263. You can listen to us on SoundCloud, iTunes, Facebook, but mostly the YouTubes.
We're slow to update.
I updated.
I only have to log into the SoundCloud, dude. Sorry.
Here's a funny... Oh, I'll hook you up tonight.
I'll do it.
Let's get off the air and do that up. What do you think?
Do it up.
All right. Listen to this. Maybe we'll get sued for this one too. Yeah.
Is that... Oh, yeah. Funky.
Yeah. What? What happened?
What happened? Did it just end?
It just ended. It ended.
Oh no, we already got pulled.
Oh my God. It's terrible.